where the Indiana Fever beat the Dallas Wings 102-83. This was a highly anticipated game because it was going to be the first time that Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers would be going up against one another in the WNBA. It is also only Caitlin Clark's third game back from injury, and this season for the Indiana Fever has been a roller coaster ride. There has been ups, there has been downs, there has been times that we have been so confused on what is actually going on with this team.
Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers finally shared the WNBA court for the first time on July 13th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. But as fans watched the action unfold, one question echoed louder than the cheers: are Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers really friends? Today, we're diving deep into their relationship, the emotions on and off the court, and what this matchup meant for the league and the future of women's basketball. You don't want to miss this. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of WNBA action, deep dives, and everything in between. July 13th wasn't just another game day in the WNBA, it was a spectacle, a moment. The Indiana Fever, led by rookie phenom Caitlin Clark, hosted the Dallas Wings, featuring none other than Paige Bueckers, who had just recently joined the league. This was the first time these two stars, who have dominated college basketball headlines for years, finally met on a professional court. Fans have debated, compared.
Paige was Caitlin before Caitlin, and all this and all that. While Caitlin was averaging 32 a night with 10 assists, setting the world on fire, Paige Bueckers was also playing. She just wasn't getting busy like Cece. She just wasn't cooking like Cece. Y'all keep saying Paige is better. We gonna see Paige got 60-some rookie records of Caitlin's that she needs to try to break, and she needs to try to get into the playoffs as a rookie, just like Caitlin Clark.
And even fought over who's the better player. But now, the spotlight was on both, not just for their stats, but for their story. But beyond the competition, fans were asking, are they even friends? Do they share mutual respect? Is there a deeper bond? Or is it all just rivalry and highlight reels? Well, Caitlin Clark has spoken, and she got real. In a pre-game interview, Clark opened up.
We've always been friends. I wouldn't say like we're best friends and talk all the time. It's hard when you end up going your separate ways and are at different colleges and things like that. And, you know, I've always been a fan of hers and always been supportive, and I watch as much as I can just because I love basketball and I love people that compete and make their team better, and that's what she's always been able to do. So
meanwhile, Bueckers was no slouch either. 21 points on 9 of 15 shooting, super efficient, confident, composed. She looked like she belonged out there from the first possession. In the end, Clark's Fever took the W, 102-83. The win pushed Indiana to 11-10, putting them in a strong position for a playoff run. The Wings, unfortunately, dropped to 6-16. It's so easy to pit women athletes against each other. The media thrives on it. But what we're seeing between Caitlin and Paige, this is something different. This is two women pushing each other to be better, and doing it with class. From college tournaments to now sharing the same hardwood as professionals, their journey has come full circle. And as Clark said,
you know, as a competitor, that's what you really love. So I think that's honestly what I appreciate the most. And I think just her leadership, like you could feel that, especially at UConn, and now coming into the W, I feel like she's certainly a leader of the Wings, whether she's played, you know, whether it was her first game or now in game 20, like I think she's been that voice for them.
She doesn't just respect Paige's talent, she loves watching people who compete and make their team better. This game wasn't just about Clark versus Bueckers, it was about momentum, star power, future storylines, and most importantly, the WNBA rising to a whole new level. Everywhere Caitlin Clark goes, arenas sell out, jerseys fly off shelves, TV ratings climb, and now, adding Paige Bueckers into that mix, we're talking about a new era in women's basketball. So are Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers besties? Nah, probably not. But friends? Absolutely. And more importantly, they're respectful rivals. They don't need to be FaceTiming every day to share something meaningful. Their bond is built on competition, admiration, and shared history, and sometimes, that's stronger than friendship. In fact, maybe the best kind of friendship is the one that pushes you to be better. And if their first WNBA matchup is any indication, we're going to be seeing a lot more greatness from both. After the game, social media lit up. Fans were hyped not only by the game itself, but by the mutual respect between the two stars. Some called it the future Bird versus Magic. Others just loved seeing women's sports getting the spotlight it deserves. One thing's clear, the WNBA needs. So, what did we learn? Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers are two of the most exciting athletes in the world. Their journey is just beginning, and whether they're friends, rivals, or something in between, they're making women's basketball better. To truly understand Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers, we have to rewind the clock back to when they were just college stars with dreams of going pro. Clark took Iowa to heights it hadn't seen in decades. Her fearless three-point shots, flashy passes, and emotional leadership turned the Hawkeyes into a national phenomenon. Meanwhile, Bueckers at UConn had the legacy of a dynasty to uphold, and she did, becoming one of the most efficient and graceful guards in the game. Even though they never faced off in the NCAA tournament until late in their college careers, fans were always drawing comparisons. Who was the better guard? Who could carry a team further? And deep down, both athletes knew they were being linked whether they liked it or not. Caitlin Clark mentioned it herself, they're not best friends. And that's okay. The media often tries to create this narrative of besties or enemies. But in real life, things are more nuanced. We're friends. We support each other. But our lives are different. Our journeys are different. And honestly, that's refreshing. You can root for someone, respect them, and still want to beat them every night. That's what elite athletes do. Clark and Bueckers may have different personalities, playing styles, and paths, but they share something much bigger, a mission to elevate women's basketball. Whether it's Clark packing arenas or Bueckers inspiring a generation of silky skilled guards, both are redefining how the world views the women's game. In many ways, their careers are parallel stories, running on different tracks, but heading in the same direction, towards something greater. Behind the scenes, in locker rooms and post-game interviews, there's a consistent message: players. Those two bring eyes to the game, but they also bring fire. You can't slack when you're up against them. Veterans respect them. Rookies learn from them. And the league? Well, the league is grateful to have them both. While Caitlin comes across as expressive, fiery, and ultra-competitive, Paige has a more composed, almost surgical approach. But both are deeply committed to their craft. It's kind of like Steph Curry versus Kawhi Leonard. Different vibes, same dominance. They both spend hours studying film, practicing relentlessly, and being leaders, even if they do it in very different ways. Okay, let's have some fun. Imagine this: Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers, on the same team. Fever fans, dream with me. It might sound far-fetched now, but trades happen. Free agency gets spicy. Super teams form. What if, one day, they decide to unite instead of compete?